I'd like to say shalom, giving all praises, Yahawashi. So give a double honor to the elders of GMS and honor to the Akim, and peace and blessings to the brothers and sisters that listen to Hopeful Elect. And quick exhortation today on the weapons of our warfare is not carnal but spiritual, man. Saw a very disturbing video online on dudes want to gather guns and weapons, trying to prepare to fight during the hour of temptation, man. Jacob's trouble, which we bring out week in and week out, which we all gonna be tried. But your salvation don't lie in those carnal weapons, man. We don't find comfort in these carnal weapons. Our comfort is in the Bible, the book. That's where our strength lies, man, is in the scriptures. Esau's gift, when you read Genesis the 27th chapter, was the sword. That's why he can have these different weapons, and he has drones, and he has nuclear weapons and invisible tanks, and that's his gift. That's his blessing. Our gift is faith, man, which scripture says is faith cometh by hearing the words of the Most High, man. And as believer on believing on the words that's in the book, that's how we gonna be saved. So we ain't supposed to be doing that, man. Now, if you have weapons or whatever, there's no sin in having a weapon, but you can't make that a doctrine. You need to train, and she says bodily exercise profited little. There's nothing wrong with exercising, but the Apostle Paul is letting them know that profited little. Godless and edifying and profited in all things, and that's what we're doing. All right. So let me read first precept, 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 4. And we got to put these videos out, man, because that's how you mislead the flock. You got to store up weapons and do all these things. No, man. All right. That's not how we going to be saved, man. You had those type of movements in the past. Let me read 2 Corinthians 10 and 4 with the zealots. All right. Ultimately failed, man. Trying to come up against the Romans with weapons. That's what Judas Iscariot was about. All right. And that wasn't the will of Yahawashi, man. The Most High bring it up, and he's the one who bring it down. Read 2 Corinthians 10 and 4, it says, for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations and everything that exalted itself against the knowledge of the Most High, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of the Mashiach, Yahawashi, because that's how we're bringing down Esau's kingdom. That's how we weaken in his kingdom. It's not by carnal weapons, it's by the word. Esau and Satan's kingdom is being weakened by the word of Yahawashi going out, man. That's how it's falling. Because if it was based off those carnal weapons, the Black Panthers would already took this devil down. It didn't work that way, man. All right. That's not the program of the Most High. That's not our gift. So our strength don't rely on that. Let me read Psalms 44 and 6. This is King David, who was a mighty warrior. All right. But what did he say? Psalms 44 and 6. He said, he says, for I will not trust in my bow, neither will my sword save me. So his bow, his sword couldn't save him, which we know the modern day bow and sword is the gun. I can't save you in the time of Jacob's trouble. Man, come on, man. Esau got drones, man, that fly over your home and can blow you out of existence, man. So how can that save you? Gathering weapons, man. All right. So he said, for I will not trust in my bow, neither shall my sword save me. But thou hast saved us from our enemies, and hast put them to shame that hated us. And that's how he put Goliath, was the mightiest, the Philistines' greatest warrior. And he killed him with a slingshot, man. Because the Lord was with him, man. All the armies of Israel was fleeing from Goliath, but the Most High put the spirit on a young boy, a shepherd boy, to put his ass to death, man. So nothing is impossible, Yahawashi, if you have faith. We read that 1 Samuel 17, verse 47. Let's read it. Let's read a precept. Psalms, it says, verse 45. Then said David to the Philistine, Thou comest to me with a sword and with a spear and with a shield, but I come to thee in the name of Yahawah Shemi Shah of hosts, the power of the armies of Israel, whose thou hast defined. So there's power in the name. I did a video on that last week. There's power in the name of Yahawah Shemi Shah, man. Alright? This day will Yahawah Shemi Shah deliver thee into mine hand, and I will smite thee and take thine head from thee, and will give thee the carcasses of the host of the Philistines this day unto the fowls of the air, and to the wild beasts of the earth, that all the earth may know there is a God or power in Israel. And all this assembly shall I know that Yahawah Shemi Shah saveth not with sword and spear, for the battle is Yahawah Shemi Shah, and he will give you into our hands. You see that? Which he did slay Goliath, and his name rang out throughout the land, man. King David, man. Alright, because he had faith and he came in the name of Yahawah Shemi Shah. That's what he wrote in the Psalms, my bow, neither do my sword save me, man. It was all the will of Yahawah Shemi Shah, man. And that's something that we all got to work on, is having more and more faith, man. That's is going to be a key in these dark times. Read Joshua chapter 10, verse 1. Another example. Joshua chapter 10, verse 1. Now it came to pass when Adonizek, king of Jerusalem, heard now Joshua had taken Ai and had utterly destroyed it and had done it to Jericho, because they heard what Joshua just did to Jericho. These are all Canaanite kings when we went into the land of Canaan, all right, to get our land. And her king, so he had done to Ai and her king, and now the inhabitants of Gibeon had made peace with Israel and were among them. Yeah, they turned themselves over to us because they saw the power of the Lord, that they feared greatly, because Gibeon was a great city, as one of the royal cities, and because it was greater than Ai, and all the men thereof were mighty. Wherefore Adonizek, king of Jerusalem, sent unto Hoam, king of Hebron, and unto Param, king of Jarmuth, and unto Jepiah, king of Lachish, and unto Debah, king of Elang, saying, so these 5 Canaanite kings said, Come up with me and help me, that we may smite Gibeon, for it hath made peace with Joshua and the children of Israel. Therefore the 5 kings of the Amorites, these are all Hamites, all right, specifically Canaanites, the king of Jerusalem, the king of Hebron, you so-called Africans today, because we're not African, man, we're Israelites, man, okay. The king of Jarmuth, the king of Lachish, the king of Eglon gathered themselves together and went up, they and all their hosts, and encamped before Gibeon and made war against it. And the men of Gibeon sent unto Joshua to the camp Gilead, saying, Slack not thy hand from thy servants, come up to us quickly and save us and help us, for all the kings and the Amorites that dwell in the mountains are gathered together against us. So the Gibeonites, which are other Canaanites, when they saw the power of the Lord with us, you know, they turned themselves over as servants and slaves, all right, to us, the Israelites, man. So the other 5 Canaanite kings made war against Gibeon because of what they did. So Joshua sent in from Gilead, he and all the people of war with him, and all the mighty men of Vela. And Yahawah Shemi Shah said unto Joshua, Fear them not, for I have delivered them into thine hand, and there shall not a man of them stand before thee. All of them gonna get put to death. Why? Because Yahawah Shemi Shah delivered them into thine hand. So it's all, the battle is based on Yahawah Shemi Shah. Who does he favor on that particular day? Not in your weapons or your training, man. All right. Joshua therefore came unto them suddenly and went from Gilead all night. And Yahawah Shemi Shah discomfited them before Israel, and slew them with a great slaughter at Gibeon, and chased them along the way, and goeth up to Bethhoron, and smote them to Azekah unto Madadai. And it came to pass, as they fled before Israel, and were going down to Bethhorah, that Yahawah Shemi Shah cast down great stones from heaven upon them, so hailstones, unto Azekah, and they died, and there were more which died with hailstones than they whom the children of Israel slew with the sword. You see that, man? So the Most High put them Canaanites that they said it was more of them that died with hailstones than they whom the children of Israel slew with the sword. So it ain't based on the sword or the gun, man. It's based on Yahawah Shem Yahawashi, man. That is the point, man. Let me read on to verse 14. It says, Then spake Joshua to Yahawah Shem Yahawashi in the day when Yahawah Shem Yahawashi delivered up the Amorites before the children of Israel. And he said in the sight of Israel, Sun, stand thou still upon Gibeon, and thou moon in the valley of Ajalon. And the sun stood still, and the moon stayed until the people had avenged themselves upon their enemies. So Joshua made the sun stand still, and the moon. That's called what? Spiritual power, man. Is not this written in the book of Joshua? So the sun stood still in the midst of heaven, and hasted not to go down about a whole day. And there was no day like that before it or after it, that Yahawah Shem Yahawashi hearkened unto the voice of a man. For Yahawah Shem Yahawashi fought for Israel. There you go, man. The Most High fight your battles, man. That's what the scripture says. Strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord will fight for thee, man. So he's going to fight your battles, man. Is it going to be tough in that time? Absolutely, man. Are we going to have near-death moments? Absolutely, man. Is some brothers going to die if that's your lot? Yeah. Some brothers going to be blessed with power. If some brothers, the angels going to protect you, man. Okay? So, you know, but it's all based on Yahawah Shem Yahawashi, man. See, these stories, this is your comfort, not in weapons, man. You read these stories and you got to believe in it. All right? And if you don't have faith, obviously, that's what you pray for, man. Pray or fast for it, right? 2 Kings chapter 1, let me read this. Let's go into Elijah. All right. 2 Kings chapter 1, verse 3. And the angel Yahawah Shem Yahawashi said to Elijah the Tishbite, Arise, go to meet the messengers of the king of Samaria, and say unto them, Is it not because there is not a power in Israel, that he goeth to inquire Bezalel, the god of Ekron? Now therefore thus say Yahawah Shem Yahawashi, Thou shalt not come down from the bed on which thou art gone up, but shalt surely die. And Elijah departed. And when the messengers turned back unto him, he said unto them, Why are ye now turned back? And they said unto him, There came a man to meet us, and said unto us, Go turn again unto the king that sent you, and say unto him, Thus saith Yahawah Shem Yahawashi, Is it not because there is a power in Israel that thou sendest to inquire of Bezalel, the king of Ekron? Yeah, so you know, that wicked it was Hazael, one of the kings of Israel. He had sent troops to Elijah, man. All right, and he was praying to some that god Bezalel, the god of Ekron, man, to recover from some disease, you know. So he sent them to the prophet Elijah to capture him. He says, Therefore thou shalt come down from the bed. Surely die. Let me see. That thou sendest to inquire Bezalel, the god of Ekron. Therefore thou shalt not come down from that bed on which thou gone up, but shalt surely die. And he said unto them, What manner of man was he which came up to meet you, and told you these words? They answered him, He was a hairy man, and girt with a girdle of a leather with his loins. And he said, It is Elijah the Tishbite. And that's the point I want to bring out real soon. It says, Then the king sent unto a captain of 50 and his 50, and he went up to him, and behold, he sat on the top of a hill. And he spake unto him, Thou man of God, the king hath said, Come down. And Elijah answered and said to the captain of 50, If I be a man of the Most High, then let fire come down from heaven and consume thee and thy 50. And there came down fire from heaven and consumed him and his 50. Spiritual power, man. Elijah didn't have to lift a finger, man. He didn't have to get no sword or no bow or no spear. Okay? He just said, Listen, if I'm a man of the Lord, may fire come down upon you and put you guys to death. And that's exactly what happened. Let's read. Again, also he sent unto him another captain of 50 with his 50. And he answered and said unto him, O man of God, thus have the king said, Come down quickly. And Elijah answered and said unto them, If I be a man of the Most High, let fire come down from heaven and consume thee and thy 50. And the fire of the Most High came down from heaven and consumed him and his 50. And he sent again a captain of the third 50 with his 50. And the third captain of 50 went up and came and fell down on his knees before Elijah and besought him and said unto him, O man of the Most High. And guess what? All these soldiers had swords and spears and bows. And Elijah had nothing but his faith, man. But what happened? They couldn't touch him, man. Because he came in the name of Yahawashi. And that's the point of bringing out these scriptures, man. It's not in no sword, man, or no gun, man. Believe on Yahawashi, man. These acts are going to happen again. All right? And said, O man, I pray thee, let my life and the life of those 50 thy servants be precious in thy sight. Okay? Behold, there came fire down from heaven and burnt up the 2 captains of the former 50s with their 50s. Therefore, let my life now be precious in thy sight. So he had to plead with Elijah. And guess what? They came with sword, spear, and all that. But it did not matter. So, this is the reason why, I pull these scriptures to the power of Yahawashi to show, them carnal weapons ain't going to save us, man. Let me read 2 more precepts. Psalms 18 and 17, I think. And this is a good prayer. Psalms 18 and 17. The whole chapter is good. It's a long prayer. It's king. He said, He delivered me from my strong enemy and from them which hated me, for they were too strong for me. Yeah, and Esau, man, through his technology, he's stronger than us, man. He got super soldiers and, like we said, all these crazy weapons and guns, that we don't even know about, man. Oxygen bombs, he got all that, man. Okay, but Yahawashi gonna deliver his elect. Okay. See if I can get one more precept. We read Hosea chapter 1, verse 7. It's a great precept. And it's the Most High. But I will have mercy upon the house of Judah, the southern kingdom, and will save them. And I will save them by Yahawashi, their power. I will not save them by bow, nor by sword, nor by battle, by horses, nor by horsemen. So the Most High is not going to have save us, which technically is all 12 tribes now. All right, all the 12 tribes. He's not going to save us by no bow or no sword or battle or horses, by horsemen. It's by his son Yahawashi, and believing on Yahawashi and having faith in Yahawashi, man, and doing the will of Yahawashi, man. Okay, and enduring to the latter end. That's how we're going to be saved. Okay, those carnal weapons, that's Esau's blessing. And like Yahawashi said, if you live by the sword, you will die by the sword. All right, so we got to live by this word. With that, I'm going to say, giving all praise, Yahawashi, Shalom.